The next excerpt is the theme and variations, of which the oboe plays most of the theme, and the first variation. As far as the theme goes, it has a turn in it. It's written out as sixteenths. Now, the great rule with all turns is pretend you have all the time in the world to do it. Don't rush it. You notice that I really try to fill out that reaching up for the A. We try to sing that interval, and I don't rush those sixteenths. This is very horizontal. You know, you're tempted to see a lot of slurs and breaks. The temptation is to play this, breaking it up more, very long phrases. When we get to the variation, the first variation, obviously the same basic melodic material. One of the things we want to do, whereas we still want this allegretto to be pretty horizontal, we want a little bit of a nice lilting high A. So we have so we go up to it, we release it slightly. We don't make a big gap, but we want it to sound very dolce and up, and then going over the bar line. You'll notice, by the way, there is a misprint in all editions. I just played it the correct way. It's printed, but that is not correct. It should be B-E-A. By the way, that is tricky. So when I'm practicing my D major scales, almost 4 or 5 times a week, I practice playing getting down to that low beat and being able to repeat it. Now, the next section is where we have to introduce some structure, some architecture. We try to play this, as we do in a lot of Baroque music. This is sort of pseudo-Baroque music. We often tier the dynamics by where it is. We do things in sequences. That can be done here. So we start piano, not incredibly soft. Increasing in intensity. Now we have a forte. We have our loudest dynamic. So we tear back down, and then we come back up again. Same pattern. You'll notice in the final section of this that I like to release lightly to give a more gracious feeling the last tied note. So I don't play. Instead, I play. I release. It makes it more scherzo. In the final 2 phrases of the first variation, you notice we have a 2-in-1 articulation. We want that to sound gracious. So we release the end of the slur to match the next note. And it's typical to do an echo there at the very end. By the way, at the very end of that, it goes directly into the next variation, and there sometimes a little bit of time taken there, and sometimes not. Sometimes it goes straight through. I want to repeat: there are no dynamics written at all throughout either the theme or the variation. At the end of one phrase, it says diminuendo to pianissimo. and dolce is written. Now, dolce often is used by composers to indicate that it should be relatively soft, but you must impose some order to this. The last word I'd say about this variation is there's a very wide range of tempos. I've been asked to do and you can do which is much closer to what I just did. Of course, you have to be prepared to do it all. This is a longer excerpt than it looks, as is evidenced by the little bit of extra effort I had to exert playing it through for you all here. So it's something that's very important to practice as one whole excerpt, one whole take. It's been good talking to you about the Pulcinella Suite by Stravinsky.